Today we're going to talk about inspiration software. Inspiration software is one of my favorite pieces of software, especially when you're talking about reading, understanding what you're reading, taking notes, and writing, and the pre-writing activities before you actually start writing. So let's get started with inspiration. Inspiration is actually on your computer. It is an installed piece of software on Windows 10 computers. So you have to go to your start menu, and then Inspiration 9 should be listed here. When it opens, it's going to ask you, how do you want to open a new file? Or you could open an existing file. Let's open a new diagram today. So we're going to click on diagram, and it's going to bring up the inspiration page. On the inspiration page, there's a few navigation pieces. At the top of the page is a menu bar, so you will see words pop up when you click on them. You'll also see some major buttons at the top for the most commonly used actions that you're going to do. You could switch to different modes over here. We're going to presentation mode. You'll see the symbols palette over here, which can be moved around the page. Down here at the bottom is the zoom panel, so you could like zoom in bigger or smaller, or to specific percentages. And then there's the formatting menu at the bottom. So we're going to do a basic diagram about, let's say, ice cream. Okay, so how it works is you would put your main idea in the first bubble. So I'm going to put ice cream here. And when you do that, it will automatically put that in there. You could resize this box if you want to, but I don't recommend doing that until the very end. Always format at the end after you get all your words and ideas down first. So let's say I'm kind of brainstorming. I want to write an essay about ice cream, and I want some different topics that I'm going to talk about related to ice cream. Now, what is a great feature on Inspiration is this rapid fire tool. Rapid fire will put a little red lightning bolt right after my topic. And what it will do is I'm going to type a word. So I'm going to think of brands of ice cream. I'm going to toppings, flavors, shops, and don't worry about spelling or anything like that. We could talk about, specific things like whipped cream. We could talk about chocolate, vanilla, and I'm just hitting enter after each one, and it's automatically creating a bubble. Cherry on top, banana split, popsicles, frozen yogurt, ice cream bars. So I'm just listing, like brainstorming anything related to this. Cherry, strawberry. I'm thinking of Shop Mitchell's ice cream. Ben and Jerry's. Candles. Honey Hut. I'm going to think of brands like Haagen-Dazs. I think that's how you spell it. I have no idea. Let's see what else. Breyers. Tufts. Hershey's. Toppings. Fudge. Hot fudge. Caramel. So I think that's a lot of stuff right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the rapid fire to turn it off. And like I could see, I spelled shop. Okay. And I'm not going to worry too much about any of the other, because some of these are brand names and it might not know those. So what I'm going to do now is the next, so that was the P step of the power up process where we just brainstorm. And now what I could do is I'm going to organize it kind of by like topic. So I have my topics here, like I have flavors over here, shops, I have brands, toppings. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the lines, the arrows. So see the little things here, the little diamonds. So I'm going to move that one over there. Handles is another one. I'm going to move that one over there. Honey Hut was another one. Okay. And it doesn't look, it looks a little crazy right now, but if I hit arrange, and I'm going to do this as a tree and say, okay, it's good. See, I have shops over here and these are underneath it. And I'm going to keep doing that. Okay. And then strawberry could be a topping or a flavor. I'm going to put it under flavors. Same thing with cherry here. I'm going to put that as a topping. And same thing with hot fudge here. I'm going to make that a topping. And then caramel, make that a topping. And let's do this one last time. So now I should have flavors, toppings, types of ice cream, frozen desserts, brands, and shops. So they're all in very kind of neat little organization units. Okay, so that's the O step of the power up process that I just did with inspiration. And this is the great part about it. Do you see the word outline here? Once you get it organized in some sort of top-down web, and it doesn't have to be a top-down web. There's, if you go more here, there's other choices as well. You could be like, go like very small like this. And then if you hit outline, it's going to give you a very nice organized outline of this, this whole, my organized unit. Now I could write about different essays or sentences about each of these in my paragraph. And what's really great about this is that I could hit this transfer button and say, maybe don't include that. Now let's get rid of that. The indentions and hit OK. Yeah. So we're going to say ice cream, save. And it's going to send it to Word. I only temporarily send it to Word. Once it's in Microsoft Word, we could, let me zoom out a little bit. There's everything I just had. And we could just take that, copy it, and go to a blank Google Doc. We could go to a blank Google Doc and start writing about it. So we don't have to start from a blank page when we're starting with inspiration in the writing process. We actually have at least a guide to help us. And these could be the start of my paragraphs now. If you're doing even more stuff with inspiration, you could go back to diagram here and you could even do things like add images. So if I click over here on this little search bar, I could click on ice cream. And I could click on the picture for any of those. Okay. And then you could also, like, if I want all of these to be the same color, I could just select those to be that color. And it just helps with being able to tell the difference between each of the topics. This is a great way to organize your data as you're before you start writing. So if you have something like this printed out, and then you could then dictate with Google Voice typing, boom, you have all the major topics that you need to talk about and most of the details. You just literally have to turn these into sentences. Inspiration does not save automatically, so make sure you're doing file save. And if you want to save to a specific name or place, you have to hit save as. I recommend saving to your Google Drive file stream folder in My Drive, and then finding a folder to put it into here. So once you put it in a folder here, like if I put it in 9th grade learning strategies, I could say save. And that way, when I want to go open it again, it will appear right there and tell me where it's at. Okay? Have fun playing with inspiration. It's a really great tool.